Good evening. My name is Wyatt Gentry, and this is my Equitable Remedies video. The first thing we'll go into is the difference between legal and equitable remedies. There are different types of remedies available to people for damage incurred in certain situations. According to Cornell Law School, no date, begin quote, a remedy is a form of court enforcement of a legal right resulting from a successful civil lawsuit, end quote. One of these damages is a legal remedy. According to the author Merzei, 2023, begin quote, legal remedies are incorporated into international construction joint ventures to mitigate contractual breaches, end quote. Simply put, a legal remedy is a way that the court imposes a penalty or its will. Some examples of remedies that are legal are compensatory, punitive, and consequential damages. A legal remedy allows a person who has been harmed from the actions of another individual to seek justice and compensation. An equitable remedy is compensation that can be given when the court finds that monetary damages are not sufficient to correct a situation. To be able to receive or pursue an equitable remedy, it usually requires an individual to refrain from performing a specified act. The major differences between the two are that legal remedies give the non breaching party a chance to receive monetary damages, whereas equitable remedies are non monetary solutions to disputes. Legal remedies are more absolute, or in other words, awarded in the form of damages, whereas equitable remedies are designed to be flexible and provide a fair solution. Some major aspects that equitable remedies have that legal remedies do not are injunctions and or specific performance. Next, we will go into the history of equitable remedies. The history of equitable remedies can be dated all the way back to King Henry. The Court of Chancery established equitable remedies as a way to provide a more flexible response to social conditions that were changing. That was not possible utilizing common law. In the mid 19th century, legislation was passed which allowed the common law courts the ability to grant injunctions. We will now go into some examples of equitable remedies. An example of an equitable remedy is restitution. This is the belief that an individual will be restored to the way that he or she was before being wronged. An example could be if an individual paid $5,000 to another individual for a car, then say the car was never delivered. This would constitute restitution since the contract they had was a $5,000 payment in exchange for a car. Another example of an equitable remedy could be specific performance. Specific performance is awarding of the non breaching party to put them in a position that he or she would have been in if the contract had been performed. According to the author Dagon, 2023, begin quote, contracts are an empowering practice that includes the choice of remedy, which allows people to legitimately recruit others to their future plans by committing their own future selves in return, end quote. An example of specific performance is if an individual promises to sell another party their land and then does not follow up on their contractual obligations. The other party can essentially call for specific performance damages. Lastly, we will look at some cases in Arizona that involved equitable remedies. An Arizona case that involved an equitable remedy was Arizona v. Patel. In short, this case involved a conflict between constitutional and statutory provisions concerning a crime victim's right to restitution. Another case involving equitable remedies is seen in State v. Reed. This case was looked over to see if the amount of money received on the restitution was correct.